Why was the engineer not fired for this, since he was in the programming room with it? And our last email this week, it is from Tom in Sarasota, Florida. I only watch one talk show on the cable news networks, and it is Newswatch. A couple of reasons. One, you intelligently discuss issues from all sides. Two, you seem to get along with each other. But last week, you all must have had double espressos. I almost turned you off when you all were getting hot and heated over the Swift boat ads. Don't make me come up there. We will try to calm down, Tom, no matter what the issue. We'll try to drink decaf. You stay in Sarasota and monitor us from there, okay? Here is our address. Newswatch at foxnews.com. We ask you to write to us, please. When you do, tell us your first name, your last name, and let us know precisely where you live. That's all the time we have left for this week. Thanks to Jane Hall, Jim Pinkerton, Cal Thomas, Neil Gabler, and I'm Eric Burns, as I always do, thanking you for watching. We'll see you next week when Fox News Watch will be back.
On top from Fox, she may be slow, but she is packing quite a punch. Winds over 100 miles per hour, rain of biblical proportions, millions of people evacuated, airports, hospitals closed. We're tracking Hurricane Frances as Fox reports right now. Frances is coming. She's taking her time, but have no doubt, she's hovering with powerful waves, floods, and winds.
Here we go. You know, you get an idea here. Pretty soon this Puerto Rican's going to be flying in the direction of Palm Beach.
Power's knocked out to hundreds of thousands of homes. How long will all those people have to stay in the dark? There's already tons of property damage, plus what's left over from Hurricane Charlie. This 1-2 punch is promising a huge financial toll. Before hitting our coastline, Frances punished the Bahamas. We'll survey the damage. Also, a security shutdown at one of the nation's busiest airports. Not good news during an already hectic travel weekend. Words do not convey the tragedy in Russia. Families allowed inside the school gym where so many people died. And former President Bill Clinton tells us how he really feels about heart surgery.
Covering the globe, fair and balanced. News at the speed of live. From New York, this is the Fox Report with Rick Fulbaum.
Hurricane Frances is starting to show us some of what she has planned for the state of Florida. The eye of the Category 2 storm still offshore a bit, moving slowly, just 5 miles per hour, dragging things out for the millions of people who have been forced from their homes. But the storm's outer bands are already causing dangerous conditions along Florida's eastern coastline. The surf is getting stronger with each passing hour. 105-mile-an-hour wind gusts, proving that this storm is no weakling. Several businesses and homes and trees already damaged. Look at that gas station. Power lines are down, leaving about 2 million people with no electricity, and this is just the beginning. Wait until it hits land. The worst is yet to come, and it's expected to come at night. We have live Team Fox coverage on Hurricane Frances. Rick Reichmuth is live at the Fox Weather Center. Rick Leventhal is live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And let's begin with Adam Housley and a Fox Report live from Melbourne, Florida. Adam.
Rick, we were pelted by rain all afternoon and early evening, but it's since stopped here in the last half an hour or so. The wind, though, has not stopped at all. The gusts continue up to 60 to 70 miles an hour in some areas. We have some video, too. We got a chance to go across the causeway, across the Inner Atlantic Waterway, out to the island, which is about a mile or so to the east of us. As we drove along, you'll notice gas stations, the cover over a gas station basically folded down. Also, a boat that we had seen earlier in the day that was battling the wind and the water finally washed ashore. Its anchor's still down, but obviously not holding. As we drove around town, the lights on the street lamps had fallen down, coming off their cables. One in particular had been torn out of the cement pole. The actual 6-inch bolts had come out of the cement pole. Also, awnings from different businesses that had come down, and one had even blown across the street. So it was quite dramatic, as you might imagine, as we crossed over that island out there and then came back. There are people out and about, if you can believe it, but not many. Now back here live, we can give you a little walkthrough of where we're located in Melbourne. As you can probably tell and hear, the wind continues to blow, continues to gust. To my left here, this harbor is somewhat safe. The boat's still rocking pretty dramatically, but at this point, they have not come loose from their moorings. Also, the other thing we're watching for this and other areas where boats are moored is the fact that you've only got about 6 feet of clearance until they would come loose from their pilings. So at this point, the water has not come up very much at all. We're still waiting for that storm surge as Francis hovers off our coast. Also, people here continue to walk back and forth, and as they were evacuated earlier, our photographer gets blown by the gust. Unbelievable here, Rick, right now, as you can tell. One more note to give it back to you. There are roughly 150,000 people that live in this area, Rick. We're told by the police department more than 75% have evacuated, but a couple did try to break into a nearby church. They've been arrested. They will spend the rest of the storm in jail. Rick?
Adam Housley, thanks very much. The sounds of power lines popping, filling the air in Fort Lauderdale earlier today. Broward and Miami-Dade counties expect to see only the most southern bands of the storm, but that still means that wind gusts of up to 80 miles per hour. And if Hurricane Charlie taught this state anything, it's that these conditions can change without a whole lot of warning. Rick Leventhal with the Fox Report for us now live from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Rick, what's it doing there?
Well, Rick, we are seeing a lot of shifts in the weather. We're on the south side of the storm, as you mentioned, and we're getting the westerly wind as Francis turns in that counterclockwise motion. Wind's not as strong as they're getting to the north, but still causing some problems out here. You can see the surf is pretty violent. It's been worse throughout the day, and there's been some coastal flooding, especially up to the north of us there in downtown Fort Lauderdale. A lot of sand and water and debris washing up onto Coastal Highway A1A there in the city. And we can take a look now from our fifth floor camera at the beautiful Lago Mar Resort here on Fort Lauderdale Beach. You can see there's some palm fronds down on the sand. We've got a lot of sand that's actually been pushed up onto the beach, and it could get worse if we get that storm surge that some are saying could be as high as 5 feet during 2 high tide cycles. You can also see one of some of the downed palm trees here on the beach. Obviously not that serious here, but there are many more downed trees across Broward County. In fact, many trees in Broward in Fort Lauderdale have created serious problems with power outages. You have big trees blocking roads and knocking down power lines. Now, as many as 1 million Florida Power and Light customers without power in the state of Florida. That means as many as 2 million people or more without power, many of them in Miami-Dade County, Broward County, and Palm Beach County. We don't know how many of those customers are actually home or how many have evacuated, but the people who left, when they get home, they may not have juice. Shelters open in 28 counties. Those shelters housing at least 70,000 people. Many more obviously staying in hotels or with friends. State of emergency still in effect. Many hazards out there, of course. We want to show you some more videotape that was shot a short time ago of a gas main that broke and a downed power line set that gas on fire. Clearly, this is an issue out here. As these things happen, it puts people's lives in danger, and it's not over yet. Heavy rains are expected. Up to 20 inches could fall in some areas. Add that to the storm surge, the tidal flooding. Things expected to get a lot worse before they get better. Rick
Leventhal on the beach at Fort Lauderdale. Rick, thank you very much. Well, some people board up their homes or go to shelters. Others go surfing. A few diehards taking their chances in the rough seas. Churned up by Hurricane Francis, they found themselves alone on Florida beaches that would normally be packed this holiday weekend. One surfer in Pompano Beach called it the chance of a lifetime. These surfers shrugged off concerns about the danger, most, though, eventually driven out of there by the approaching storm. Well, it's no holiday for people spending their Labor Day weekend in emergency shelters. About 70,000 people taking advantage of Red Cross shelters across the state of Florida, among them tourists who had something a bit sunnier in mind. Most people who live in the affected areas left their homes on Friday, and with this storm moving so slowly, the waiting may just be the hardest part of all. The most popular ways to pass the time: sleeping, card playing, listening to music, and watching non-stop hurricane coverage on television. Fox News Channel, we hope. Well, about 3 million people in all have been told to hightail it on out of the storm's path. That is the the biggest evacuation in Florida state history. People who didn't go to shelters chose to drive to head north. The mass exodus created miles of traffic jams along I-75, I-95, right through Georgia on into North Carolina. The Florida Department of Transportation told construction crews to get rid of anything that could possibly slow the flow of traffic. Well, Hurricane Francis left behind quite a mess in the Bahamas. At least 2 people dead there. The storm moved at just 5 miles per hour over the islands, which are just east of Miami. In all, Francis spent more than 30 hours there. The slow march gave the storm's 105-mile-an-hour wind plenty of time to cause a lot of damage. Palm trees, power lines, no match for the violent gusts. A lot of areas, including the Freeport Airport, left completely underwater. Well, the latest forecast for Francis is that the storm will probably make landfall late tonight, early tomorrow morning, just south of Melbourne, Florida, where Adam Halsey was reporting from. But forecasters say there is a window of opportunity that the storm could track up the coast. If that does happen, this storm would get considerably weaker. Rick Reichmuth with a Fox report for us now live from the Fox Weather Center. Rick.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, though. Most of the models still show this thing moving across the panhandle over, say, the next 24 to 36 hours. I wanted to point out something here with this latest satellite imagery. We had kind of lost the eye of this storm over the last 24 hours when it was weakening. But you can see in the last few frames here, we can see an eye again, and it does appear that it's beginning to shrink just a little bit. So another advisory will come out from the National Hurricane Center by 8 o'clock, and I expect to see that this will probably increase a little bit in maximum sustained winds. Now, we've also been looking at this thing just not moving at all over the last at least 6-8 hours. It should begin to move once again, maybe around 5 miles per hour in its forward progression. I want to point out by tomorrow afternoon, mid-Florida, we're still looking at sustained winds of around 70 miles per hour. And then this thing currently is tracked to move out, get this, into the Gulf of Mexico. And as it does that, it actually has the potential to gain strength a little bit again. It's going to make landfall again, probably as a tropical storm, just in throughout the Florida panhandle before this thing finally begins to get moved up and pulled in towards the Ohio River Valley. Rick, back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you very much. We'll check back with you a little bit later on. The Federal Emergency Management Agency says that it expects to have 4,500 relief workers ready to move into Florida after Francis makes landfall. That is 3 times as many workers as were mobilized for Hurricane Charlie just a few weeks ago. Crews across the country ready. They're already on the move, making their way to Florida, some traveling from as far away as Washington State. Most of these crews are going to hang out in Atlanta until the worst of the storm passes. New Mexico's Urban Search and Rescue Team also ready to respond to the storm. The group's specialty is getting people out of collapsed buildings and confined spaces. Coming up, she's a day behind schedule and still taking her sweet time now. Hurricane Francis poised for the most frightening of landfalls, the kind that comes at night and lasts all night long. We have live continuous coverage throughout the hour. Also double trouble at Los Angeles International today. 2 separate security scares causing some very tense moments and some travel headaches too. And Michael Jackson making an admission, saying that he has in fact paid people millions of dollars to keep himself out of court. We'll fill you in. From the Fox News Hub in New York City, Fox News teams around the globe and all over Florida. This is news at the speed of live. This is the Saturday Night Fox Report on Fox News Channel.
The captioning for this program is brought to you by...
With Meinike's All Change Plus, you'll get an oil change, plus a tire rotation, plus a brake inspection. Meineke, right service, right price.
Announcing new Fancy Feast Marinated. Tender morsels of real turkey or tuna, lavishly marinated to captivate the palate of the true gourmet. Fancy Feast. Good taste is easy to recognize.
Of the Christ on DVD today.
At Infinity's limited engagement sales event, the car of your dreams is waiting. Like the Infiniti G35 sedan, one of Car and Driver's 10 best, for the second year in a row. See your Infiniti dealer for attractive lease and APR finance rates. But don't wait too long. Infinity's limited engagement sales event ends September 7th. Test drive a G35 sedan or FX and ask about our 1.9% APR.
This thing's really going to move.
When you manage money for the long term, you tend to be a little more demanding. Evergreen. Investments that stand the test of time.
Oh, I love you.
Don't forget to call, son.
Yep, I got you right in here, Dad.
Sign up for the Family Share Plan, and now the whole family can make unlimited in-calls to each other and any other Verizon Wireless customer anytime without using any planned minutes from our national in-coverage area. Plus, buy one LG 3200 for $29.99 and get one free.
Oh, I need to call her back.
Are you all in? Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
And we are following Hurricane Francis as it gets ready to slam into Florida. And the forecast, as you've heard, is that this storm could hit late tonight or tomorrow. If it hits tonight, we're told it could last all night long. This storm, not good news for an airline industry that is already in some serious trouble. Dozens of flights have been canceled because of Francis. Airports serving Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and Melbourne all shut down. One analyst says that Francis could cost airlines as much as $40 million. The carriers taking the biggest hit are the ones that focus, of course, on Florida, like American, JetBlue, and AirTran. Well, adding to the trouble for travelers this holiday weekend, a couple of security scares this morning that shut down 4 terminals at Los Angeles International Airport. They happened at about a half an hour apart from each other. They were totally unrelated. First, a person bypassed security by running up a down escalator, and then a flashlight battery exploded in a bag being hand searched by a screener. Anita Vogel with the Fox Report for us now, live from LAX. Anita.
Well, Rick, a very scary and chaotic day for passengers here at LAX. 2 separate security breaches happening on a very busy holiday weekend. Fortunately, officials tell us these incidents were not terrorist related. First of all, at 7:30 in the morning, as you mentioned, a passenger deplaning went back up an exit ramp in a secure passenger area, causing a security breach, resulting in the evacuation of 3 terminals. Then, a half an hour later, at 8 a.m. at the Tom Bradley International Airport, a small explosion at a baggage security checkpoint. It turned out to be caused by batteries in a flashlight. The explosion ended up injuring at least 8 airport employees.
When the TSA personnel were examining the bag and the flashlight, because of the buildup of gases from the batteries, the flashlight actually exploded. The plastic pieces broke apart, sending what in effect would be plastic shrapnel.
Now, aside from the 8 people injured, these incidents ended up causing a lot of backups and chaos here at the airport. LAX was closed to vehicle traffic for 4 hours this morning, causing travelers a lot of problems and, as you can imagine, headaches. Air traffic was also delayed for outbound flights. This afternoon, both air and ground traffic is slowly getting back to normal. Now, LAX is, of course, the busiest airport on the West Coast and always considered a potential target for terrorism. Today, officials are relieved that these 2 incidents were neither terrorist related nor criminal. Rick, back to you.
Anita Vogel at LAX. Anita, thanks. When we return back to the storm, Florida feeling the fury of Hurricane Francis. Governor Jeb Bush there says that the eye of this storm is huge, and that eye still has not moved to shore. We're on the story. We're live all night long here on Fox News Channel, by the way. President Clinton is waiting to undergo heart surgery, and tonight some new details about the operation, when it could take place, and how he's coping with his latest health problem. And cops say an unhappy fast food worker found a creepy way to try to get some payback. We'll have that story. It'll make your skin crawl as Fox reports live.
It accelerates faster than a Porsche Boxster, has more ground clearance than a BMW X5, and costs $12,000 less than an Audi Allroad. It is the all-new 250 horsepower all-wheel drive Subaru Outback. Somewhere in Germany, an engineer weeps.
Visit your Subaru dealer for 2.9% APR for 63 months on every 2005 Subaru.
I really appreciate the community partnership that we have with Walmart. Their associates volunteer all over the city.
Walmart's been a wonderful neighbor. They built a path for our golf carts to make the store accessible.
Walmart is great for our city. They have always been there when we needed them.
Walmart helped us build a Korean War Memorial. It means a lot to know that they would honor our sacrifices.
It's just been a wonderful partnership. We're so happy they moved in.
Our economy is strong and it is growing stronger.
Manufacturing activity is as good as it's been in 20 years. But this is a changing economy. It's a different economy. This economy of ours is steady and strong. Steady and strong.
The Democratic National Committee is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
Steady and strong.
Now, when you stay at Ramada, you'll earn points towards the things you really want with the largest hotel rewards program ever. Trip Rewards. Think of it as a gazillion more reasons why Ramada is a very good place to be.
Florida's natural premium orange juice is made just from our fresh oranges, not from concentrate. We own the land, the trees, and the company. It's as close to the Grove as you can get.
It's 4th and goal. Here's the snap. The quarterback drops back. Can't find anyone. He throws it. Caught! Touchdown!
We know for you, football is more than just a game. It's an unbridled passion for your favorite team. With ACC and SEC Encore presentations, live college and high school football, coaches shows, and preview shows, CSS will feed that passion all season long. CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Available only on cable.
Interest rates on your house. Going up? Going down? Nobody knows. That's why if you're refinancing or getting a home equity loan, Crossroads Mortgage has a plan for you. Crossroads Confidence Home Loans can put more money back in your pocket. Here's how. No matter which home loan you choose, you save even more with no payments for 3 months. And we've got short-term fixed rates starting at just 3.95%. That's one of the best rates you'll find anywhere. Get the Crossroads Confidence. Call Crossroads Mortgage today.
A live look now at an ominous sky in South Florida where folks are waiting for Frances, and people might not have to wait very long. This storm could make landfall just hours from now. And don't be tricked into thinking that just because this storm has been downgraded to a Category 2, that it's not a dangerous hurricane and one that has the potential of doing a whole lot of damage. Let's get the very latest on the storm track from our Foxcaster, Janice Dean. Janice, I'm sorry, not Janice Dean. Rick. They tricked me up there, Rick. I apologize. What can you tell us?
They did that on purpose. Yeah, you know, you're absolutely right about not getting tricked into that, because really the Category 2 and Category 3 is just kind of a system that man gave to these. But you see there's not that much difference. Right now, winds around 105. 111 is that cutoff to get to the that magical mark of the Category 3 at this point. Take a look here at your current radar. We've been talking about this being currently an East Coast event. We'll look at all of these rain showers on the West Coast already. We're going to be seeing those rainfall totals really pile up across the West as well. So Tampa, anywhere south, we could be looking at rainfall there even towards 10 inches by the time this is done there. Now you can see just here, still off of the East Coast, this eye wall right here, beginning to get, as I said a little bit earlier, a little bit better defined. And so we're going to be watching this very closely. It still is not really moving at all. It's been stationary for about 6 hours. We do expect it to begin to slowly creep off towards the west. And you see these bands right here. This is currently the heaviest winds. Could be seeing winds in that area around 90 to 100 miles per hour right now. Rick, we'll have more just in a bit.
All right, Rick Reichman, thank you very much.
You bet.
Well, a confession from Michael Jackson. He admits to paying people in the past in order to avoid having to go to court. The singer releasing a statement last night, just hours before NBC News reported that he paid $2 million to the son of a Neverland Ranch employee back in 1990 in order to avoid a child molestation accusation. Investigators discovered the payoff while investigating a 1993 sex abuse case. Jackson paid that accuser as much as $20 million in an out-of-court settlement. Jackson says he's never harmed a child and settled these cases to avoid media scrutiny. He is now facing brand new charges, as you know, for allegedly molesting a boy last year. And now from our newsrooms coast to coast, Fox reports across America. Ohio. The State Highway Patrol stopping drivers at checkpoints along the Michigan state line is to keep people from bringing firewood into Ohio. The emerald ash borer, a tiny beetle, has killed or infested 8 million ash trees in Michigan. Massachusetts. Kingston cops say a disgruntled fast food worker decided to get his revenge by leaving a box full of mail-order cockroaches in the food court. But none of the 600 creepy crawling creatures escaped. Now police say they want to talk to the 16-year-old boy and his parents. Utah. The annual Soldier Hollow Classic Sheepdog Championships taking place this weekend near Heber. More than 130 of the world's best border collies are competing, coming from as far away as Scotland and New Zealand. Thousands of people are expected to check it out. Texas, saying goodbye to a longtime mascot in Austin. Bevo 13 spent 16 seasons supporting the University of Texas football team. He's the longest-serving mascot in school history. A 2-year-old Longhorn named Bevo 14 will take his place. And that's a Fox Watch across America. Well, Francis hasn't even hit land yet. It's already causing a lot of damage, though. Coming up, what the wicked weather has left behind so far. Forecasters are working hard to try to figure out where the storm is going. Tonight, we'll talk about the trouble of tracking this monster.
Air pollution is a big problem. The EPA ranks indoor air pollution among the top 5 environmental risks. Exclusively from Sharper Image, the patented Ionic Breeze Quadra cleans and circulates air with no fans, no filters, and is totally silent. According to AC Nielsen, it's America's most trusted brand of air purifier and #1 in customer satisfaction. The Quadra has even earned the seal of the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America because it's been proven to reduce airborne allergens. Only the Ionic Breeze positively charges incoming air while pulling it toward a negatively charged grid. Positively charged contaminants attach to the collection grid, and cleaned air is accelerated into the room, creating a fresh, clean smell. Maintenance is easy. Pull up a collection grid, just wipe it off with a cloth or sponge, and slip it back in. It's that simple. The Ionic Breeze removes allergens such as pollen, animal dander, also airborne bacteria, viruses, and mold. It powers through smoke and offensive odors and can leave your house smelling fresh and clean. Don't be misled by our noisy competitors. This one claims you never need to replace a filter, yet their instructions clearly state you should replace a filter every 2 months. In 5 years, hidden costs of filter replacements and electricity can add up to over $1,000. The Quadra requires no filters and uses almost no electricity. Order today and we'll give you a $69 bathroom Ionic Breeze. This powerful compact helps even dirty bathrooms smell fresh and clean 24 hours a day. And we'll also give you a $39 car Ionic Breeze for cleaner air wherever you go. Try the Ionic Breeze Quadra for 60 days. And if you don't love it, send it back. But keep the bathroom and the car Ionic Breezes. Over a $100 value as our free gift. Call now and get a free 5-year replacement guarantee and ask about free shipping.
Call 1-800-308-6177. That's 1-800-308-6177.
Millions who pay for prescriptions out of their own pockets are already saving with their Medicare-approved drug discount cards. Hope you've got one. Get a card and get saving. Call 1-800-MEDICARE and get started today.
And a live look at Melbourne, Florida. And this is the area where a lot of people right now are speculating. The forecasters think that perhaps when the storm does make land, it's going to hit right around this area. Adam Housley, our correspondent, and his team on the ground right now in Melbourne, Florida. A lot of people, about 70% of the people who live in this community, who live in this town, have left. So that is good news. In fact, a whole lot of people up and down the entire state of Florida who have been ordered to get out of their homes have done that. Almost 3 million Floridians have evacuated most of the east coast of Florida, about 300 miles worth under a hurricane warning. There is a state of emergency in effect, and there are shelters open in 28 different counties in Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina, too. We'll keep you posted on the latest on Hurricane Francis. Well, the number of people killed in that hostage standoff at that Russian school, now more than 340. It's a staggering number, even more tragic when you consider that almost half of the victims are children. Today, for the very first time, relatives were allowed into the gymnasium where their loved ones were killed. The roof destroyed, windows shattered, walls peppered with bullet holes. The Russian President Vladimir Putin going on national television today, promising an all-out war on terror, also making a rare and candid admission, saying that the government showed weakness. Dana Lewis with the Fox Report now from Beslan, Russia.
Hi, Rick. President Putin actually flew in here under tight security in the middle of the night right after this hostage taking. He didn't go to the school, but he did go to some of the hospitals and talk to some of the victims there. And then back in Moscow today, he made a nationwide address telling Russians that there is an all-out war against Russia now by international terrorists. Putin said we're not dealing with separate incidents, seemingly linking this violent hostage-taking with the bombing of a Moscow metro station earlier this week, and also the downing of 2 planes in southern Russia last week, which killed 90 people. Altogether now, Russian officials on the ground here are saying 323 people were killed in the 12-hour exchange of gunfire between terrorists and Russian forces yesterday. Most of the victims were kids, many of them killed in the initial blast in the gymnasium, many others shot in the back, according to officials, as they ran for their lives from that gymnasium. 700 others had to be hospitalized. Many of those, or at least some of those, are now going home, those with more minor injuries. I toured the school today. I can tell you that it looked like a tornado had ripped through the interior of that building. All of the big windows had been blown out. And outside in the schoolyard, the bodies of 28 terrorists gunned down by Russian forces. And of course, the Russians continue to say many of those were Arab mercenaries. Rick?
Dana Lewis, thank you. From America's leading news network, this is the Fox Report. It's the bottom of the hour. Here are your headlines. And 4 terminals shutting down at Los Angeles International Airport after 2 different security scares. Investigators say a passenger bypassed security at one terminal. Then 30 minutes later, a flashlight battery exploded during a screening. The feds say the incidents were unrelated and not terror-related either. Hurricane Francis now 50 miles off the shore of Palm Beach, Florida, with winds of about 105 miles per hour. This is a Category 2 storm, and it's moving toward the mainland at just 5 miles per hour. That's very, very slow. It's expected to make landfall overnight. Well, the outer bands of the storm already causing damage along Florida's eastern coast. Close to 3 million people have been forced to leave the storm's path. About 2 million people have no power. Everybody is waiting for the worst to come. Adam Housley joins us now again with the Fox Report live from Melbourne, Florida. Adam.
Rick, we've been battered here consistently for about 18 hours. The rain stopped about an hour ago, but the winds have picked up drastically. You can tell all around me we're getting some pretty strong gusts. In fact, my photographer and myself at some points, like right now, are being moved by this wind as it catches us. We have some video also of what's going on right along the coast, just across the causeway from where I'm standing right now. Some video that's out there along the Atlantic coast here in this Florida. You'll notice all sorts of damage, everything from signs being torn down, even gas station coverings being folded in half. Also, you'll notice some of these street lights have been taken down. On the causeway itself, they have these massive street lights about 20 feet up in the air, 25 feet up in the air, metal lights that are 1 foot in diameter. 6 in a row have been toppled. Some have gone over into the Atlantic waterway as well. And as you drive around the island, you'll notice all sorts of trees down, even boats that have been washed up on the rocks along the shoreline. So the wind has battered us here for 18 hours, Rick. It does not seem to be letting up whatsoever at all. As I walk you this way, this harbor here actually has some protection. It's blocked off by a jetty as well as some condominium projects. But if you notice, the sailboats are being tossed around. This one here in particular right in front of me is almost at a 45-degree angle. And as the difference between this water here and the water out in the Inter-Atlantic waterway is quite dramatic. Even though this water's choppy out there, it's flat out treacherous. There's no other way of explaining it, Rick. It's quite dangerous here right now in some areas. There's still the worry, of course, of the storm surge and how much rain might be coming our way. I have had a chance to stay in touch with authorities. They say at this point, nobody is doing anything stupid as in going into the water, but they have had people try to break into places around here. And if you're caught, there is zero tolerance. You will go to jail until the middle of next week. No bail. Rick?
All right, we'll have more storm coverage on the way. For now, Adam Housley, thank you. Shift our attention for just a moment, and it's all about the battleground states as you decide 2004. Both President Bush and John Kerry making stops in Ohio today, holding some dueling campaign events, if you will. The president blasting his challengers, saying that Kerry wants to raise taxes but won't get the chance because the president says he doesn't plan on losing in November. We've got Team Fox coverage now. Carl Cameron is in Steubenville, Ohio with the Kerry camp. Let's begin with a Fox report from Mike Emanuel in Erie, Pennsylvania. Mike.
Bush rallying supporters in Pennsylvania a day after campaigning elsewhere in the state. The president greeted by a large crowd at the Erie Football Stadium, the hometown of Homeland Security Secretary Tom Ridge. Mr. Bush lost the Keystone State 4 years ago, but is clearly investing great time and effort here. The rest of the day in another battleground state, Ohio. In Kirtland, President Bush calling Lake County and Ohio Bush-Cheney country. In the 2000 election, Mr. Bush won Lake County over Al Gore 50% to 45%. The president talked about a theme he discussed at the Republican convention, which is simplifying the tax code. Before that stop, President Bush got off the bus at the Chagrin Falls popcorn shop with the First Lady and his daughters. Mr. Bush ordered a custard and chatted with some of the shop employees. The president today not sounding very affected by recent polls from Time and Newsweek showing him with a double-digit lead over John Kerry. Earlier, the president was campaigning in a suburb of Cleveland, which campaign officials acknowledge is predominantly a Democratic stronghold. Bush campaign officials say we are aggressively fighting for votes in areas where Kerry should be strong. President Bush highlighting what he calls opportunity zones, which he talked about at the Republican convention, where he is proposing providing tax relief and other incentives to attract new business and improve housing and job training. Ohio and Pennsylvania considered so important, it's expected the president will visit both states many times between now and Election Day. Rick?
Thank you, Mike. Senator John Kerry in Ohio tonight holding a rally for a stronger America in the city of Steubenville. This morning, though, he attacked the president on the economy, once again saying that he's the first president since Herbert Hoover whose administration has failed to create jobs. Let's go to our chief political correspondent, Carl Cameron, with a Fox report for us live from Steubenville. Carl.
Hey, Rick, and as it stands right now, the Kerry campaign watching the polls very closely, recognizing that President Bush does appear to have gotten something of a bounce from the Republican National Convention just the ending last week. Senator Kerry acknowledged that and said he does plan to come back. Today, he took time out from general campaigning to do a little bit of trap shooting. Images meant, in essence, to show that he's a pro-gun rights and sportsman-type Democrat who can appeal to some of the swing voters in this part of the country, a very blue-collar and more conservative portion of Ohio. Today, he accused the president of being a, quote, flip-flopper on steel tariffs, steel being one of the life's blood of this area, and accused the president of hypocrisy for a variety of things. As to criticisms from Republicans about his voting record in the Senate on military issues and others who criticize his service in Vietnam, Kerry today counterattacked shooting with both barrels, again raising questions about the service of others and turning it to a new twist, saying that in effect what the president and the Republicans are doing is attacking voters themselves. Here's how he put it.
They want this race to be about what might or might not have happened 35 years ago or this, that. They want it to be about attacks on me. Have you ever seen an incumbent President of the United States of America have a convention that wasn't about what he'd accomplished, but was about attacking his opponent the entire time? Have you ever seen that? Well, I'll tell you what. I don't care about the attacks on me. That's not what's important in this race. What's important are the attacks on you.
And today here in Steubenville, Ohio, a large group of Catholic pro-life demonstrators showed up. An organization put together by a number of students from a local Franciscan Catholic church. As many as 300 were here. It's by far and away the biggest demonstration that Kerry has faced since his convention in Boston more than a month ago. Rick, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Carl Cameron, thank you very much. President Clinton reportedly in very good spirits as he awaits open heart surgery. Family sources telling the Associated Press the former president was walking around his hospital room today in street clothes. The former commander-in-chief reportedly will either have triple or quadruple bypass surgery. It's expected to take place as early as Monday, but maybe on Tuesday as well, according to Democratic Party Chairman Terry McAuliffe, who spoke to the president. Allison Camerata with a Fox Report now from New York City.
The latest information we're getting here is that former President Bill Clinton will have heart bypass surgery at some point early next week, and that he'll be staying here at Columbia Presbyterian Hospital until then. Mr. Clinton's office is releasing very little information about the procedure, but Mr. Clinton himself called into a TV show last night and shared his feelings as he prepares to go under the knife. He said that despite experiencing chest pains and shortness of breath on Thursday, he feels very lucky because at this point he does not have any heart damage. Still, he said that his arterial blockage is so substantial that if he does not have this bypass surgery, there is a virtually 100% chance that he'll have a heart attack. Mr. Clinton also addressed the lifestyle choices that may have led up to this situation. As many will remember, while he was in the White House, President Clinton was known to have a particular fondness for fast food and fried foods. Well, last night the president said, quote, "I may have done some damage in those years when I was careless about what I ate. For whatever reason, I've got a problem and I've got a chance to deal with it." Mr. Clinton also demonstrated that he's still in good humor. He said, "Let me just say, Republicans are not the only people who want 4 more years." I should also tell you that at about 1 o'clock this afternoon, we watched Chelsea Clinton arrive here. And last, President Clinton's office reports that since the news broke that he would be here in the hospital, they have received 15,000 messages from well-wishers. Rick?
Thank you, Allison. Back to our Hurricane Frances coverage now as the storm begins to make some dangerous inroads right to the state of Florida. We're tracking it all the way, and so, of course, is the National Hurricane Center. Joining us now, the director of the National Hurricane Center, Max Mayfield. Director Mayfield, good to talk to you. What are the special challenges that are associated with a storm that's moving as slowly as this one is?
Well, Rick, it's really tough to get people understand all the different hazards associated with this hurricane. You know, the storm surge and those large breaking waves on top of that at the immediate coastline. Fortunately, most of those people, I'm told, have evacuated from the immediate Florida East Coast. But then we have to deal with the winds. As you know, a hurricane is not just a coastal event. Those strong winds and heavy rains and some isolated tornadoes will spread inland across the Florida Peninsula. And this is the fact that it's a slow-moving hurricane. The hurricane force winds will likely not make it all the way into the Gulf of Mexico, but we're going to have strong tropical storm force winds over a very wide area that will knock down a lot of tall trees, and I would expect there to be massive power outages with this. And then with the slow movement, you also have to deal with the heavy rainfall too. And of course, all these hazards can cause loss of life if people are not extremely careful.
I think because the storm is moving so slowly, there are a lot of people who listened to the warnings and left town who might now be wondering if maybe they could have stayed behind. Maybe they could have waited this one out. Those people who did listen and they evacuated, they did the right thing, didn't they?
Absolutely, and we've been talking at least with the stations here in Florida that you know, this has happened in the past with hurricanes. People are in shelters for extended time periods and they get antsy, and I sure understand that, and sometimes they've gone back just as the hurricane made landfall, and we hope that hasn't happened this time.
Once this storm comes and goes, sir, what will she be most remembered for? Her wind, her rain, her slow speed? What do you think?
I think a little bit of all of those, but probably most of all just the large size and the large impact over just a widespread area in the state of Florida.
Max Mayfield is the director of the National Hurricane Center. Very busy man. Thanks very much for making some time for us.
You're welcome.
Hurricane Francis is so big, as Mr. Mayfield was just talking about. Forecasters are warning that almost the entire state of Florida has got to be prepared for some kind of damage. We have live team coverage and correspondents up and down the east coast of Florida. Keep it right here on the Fox Report. We're coming right back.
At Infinity's limited engagement sales event, the car of your dreams is waiting. Like the Infiniti G35 sedan, one of Car and Driver's 10 best for the second year in a row. See your Infiniti dealer for attractive lease and APR finance rates. But don't wait too long. Infinity's limited engagement sales event ends September 7th. Test drive a G35 sedan or FX and ask about our 1.9% APR.
Investments that stand the test of time.
So these are the roads.
I'll have the special.
Don't have a special.
Oh, what can I get you?
I'll have the special.
Rules of the road. You're one of the dopes for whom they were made. The rules of the road.
No.
Then suddenly this, the end
nice place.
of the road.
I think I'll do a cannonball.
Don't.
Fairfield Day. For travelers who know.
The old gray tape, it ain't what it used to be. Ain't what it used to be. Ain't what it used to be.
Old gray duct tape gets in the way of great-looking repairs. So try Scotch Transparent Duct Tape. Strong enough to hold powerfully, yet see-through to repair beautifully.
This duct tape, it holds so easily. Almost invisibly.
Scotch Transparent Duct Tape from 3M.
Scotch, the brand to trust.
Let me just kind of turn around and show you. When I face this direction, I'm forced to lean forward to remain standing. So it's coming at about 50 miles per hour. We were up on top of the bridge about 2 hours ago, and we experienced wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour with the folks at the National Weather Service. At one point, we had to crouch down on our knees for our own safety.
Just one of the many scenes that we're seeing as Hurricane Francis inches its way towards the coastline of Florida. And we're told now that it could hit land sometime overnight and that the bulk of the storm is going to do its most damage at nightfall. Geraldo Rivera is on the ground. He joins us now live from Riviera Beach. Geraldo, what's it like there?
I tell you one thing, Rick, that's why it gets so terrifying when it gets dark. You just don't know what's coming, and the wind is blowing. It's so severe. It's really a nightmare scenario, so the night brings the nightmare. This thing is hitting here. We've had gusts over 90 miles an hour already today. This is a big boating area. I just want to show you some video of the marina, not more than a half mile from where I'm standing here. In an earlier report, we showed one of these vessels. I thought it was moving so fast on anchor. I thought it was underway. You can see we identified those vessels now. It turns out they were anchored there last night by the crews. The crews are safely ashore. But you can see what a mess these winds and this driving rain is causing to the boats. There's I don't know, someone's going to be calculating this damage, but just in this one little community, you're looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of wrecked boats. And that's with the wind coming here from the north. And the leading edge of this hurricane, then there'll be the eye. The wind will come from the other direction, and the rest of the fleet on the other side of the bridge will be wiped out. It's like a hammer blow, a 1-2 punch. Charlie, 3 weeks ago to the Gulf Coast of Florida. Now, Hurricane Francis hitting with this right hook. We saw it coming. We can't say we didn't. It's coming in shore
within 25 miles of where the forecasters said it would 5 days ago. So I've driven up and down this coast. The beaches are really taking a pounding. The place is deserted. There are transformers in the streets. Traffic lights have been torn out. Electrical cables everywhere you can look. This up here in northern Palm Beach County really taking so far the brunt of the storm. It will go on, and that's the danger as this rainfall continues. This state, as you know, Rick, like a saturated sponge. Charlie's already filled that sponge. There's no place for all this water to go. There's real fear of flooding and flash flooding, even in the inland areas. Right now, everyone is hunkered down. No movement, obviously no electricity. Shelters jam-packed. It is a mess, and as you've been reporting all night long, this is just the beginning. This is going to be a long-running event, at least 24 more hours, probably more, before people can walk around and really assess the true nature, extent, magnitude of the damage, the devastation that Hurricane Francis and these winds and driving rain has brought. That's it from Riviera Beach. Back to you, Rick.
Geraldo, tell me real quickly, you say the shelters are full. People have gotten out of there. The people who need to leave have left. That's the case?
Generally speaking, yes. Behind me, I don't know if you can still see it through the driving mist in the dark. That's Singer Island back there, all high-rises. That's the upscale neighborhood around here. That was evacuated. People thought a mandatory evacuation like all the barrier islands. But I see some people still hunkered down in their apartments using candlelight and bottled water. The same goes for this complex. We've taken shelter in. Generally speaking, the people have gone, but there are some holdouts, as there almost always are. Rick, back to you.
Unbelievable. Geraldo Rivera and his Fox News team, Riviera Beach, Florida is where they are. Geraldo, thanks.
We're going to rename it, Rick.
They'll rename it after the storm, Geraldo. We're going to continue tracking Francis. The storm is taking its time, moving into Florida, but getting stronger, as you just saw in Geraldo's live report. We'll have more straight ahead. Don't go away.
This program is brought to you by Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
I love you.
Don't forget to call, son.
Yep, I got you right in here, Dad.
Sign up for the Family Share Plan, and now the whole family can make unlimited in-calls to each other and any other Verizon Wireless customer anytime without using any plan minutes from our national in-coverage area. Plus, buy one LG 3200 for $29.99 and get one free.
Oh, I need to call her back.
Are you all in? Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Do you have any idea what hell is? No one can touch him. He's invincible. She's the one, the chosen. Control. Possession. Rage. You think that's easy? To be a serial killer and keep your day job?
The true story of the hunt for the Green River Killer. The Riverman. Check your local listings.
This week, Comcast delivers the hits you want on In Demand. It's hot, spicy, and out of control. Dirty Dancing, Havana Nights. You Can Con a Con Man. Owen Wilson stars in The Big Bounce. And don't miss Lindsay Lohan in Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. All this week on In Demand Pay-Per-View, delivered home by Comcast.
Toyota gives you 2 Septembers, and now's the time to get a great deal on all the brand new 05 Toyotas, now arriving every day at your Toyota dealer. Like Camry, America's best-selling car, now with more standard features than ever before. Plus, you can get low 1.9 financing for 36 months on any new 05 Camry. Brand new 05s, last of the 04s. That's 2 Septembers in one. See your Toyota dealer before it all ends, September 30th.
Comcast is once again proud to bring you great high school football action with the Chevrolet Friday Night High School Game of the Week. Tune in to CSS, Comcast Channel 27 each Friday to see all the exciting gridiron action. Tune in September 10th to see Dixon County take on Hendersonville. The Chevrolet Friday Night High School Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Bill Hurd, the world's largest Chevy dealer, and Wendy's. Quality is our recipe.
Furniture Home Store Ultimate Event. An event of stellar proportion. The Ultimate Event financing. No interest until 2008, plus no payments until 2005. Everything is tagged with the ultimate Ashley Direct price. Absolutely everything. Do not delay. The Ashley Furniture Home Store Ultimate Event ends soon.
We're going to do our best to remain safe out here. As I mentioned, it's not only a concern, for me personally, but for anyone who's out. This is tough. For anyone who's out, is what do you do? What do you do when you can't see things that may be flying at you? And what's also rough is that these winds just come from absolutely nowhere. I know that we've been I know we've said that time and time again that these bands come in.
It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. A young reporter there out on the beach getting smacked with some rain and some sand, I'm sure, as well. This is this storm that's moving its way, that's going to hit Florida at some point tonight, between midnight tonight and tomorrow morning. It's a very slow-moving storm, and it's really caused pretty much most of the entire state of Florida to shut down on what would ordinarily be a very, very busy holiday, Labor Day weekend. There's a huge evacuation. A lot of businesses have completely shut down, including the Walt Disney World Resort has completely shut down. And, of course, there are power workers out there that are also going to have a huge job ahead of them as well. Hurricane Francis snapping power lines, leaving 2 million people so far, just 2 million so far in the dark. Those numbers are sure to go up. The winds about 91 miles per hour at this point, ripping trees right out of the ground. You just saw that. Jonathan Seri joins us now with a Fox report from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Right now I'm standing on Riverland Road. This is on the mainland of Fort Lauderdale. You can see this tree toppled, the result of a dangerous combination of wind and rain. You see all this rain, it's seeping into the ground, and that's loosening the root systems of many trees. This one here, a banyan tree. You can see the roots. They run very wide, but not particularly deep, and that makes them susceptible when the ground becomes soggy and the winds start picking up. Let's take a look inside this man's property here. Going to walk through the main gate. And if you take a look over here, you can see where the tree was actually uprooted, toppled over as the heavy winds hit the top of the trees, knocking the branches onto this man's house. He did suffer an injury to one of his ears. He's being treated for that injury. It does not appear to be serious, but what a fright. And what you see here didn't even occur during hurricane force winds, but is perhaps a preview of what we can expect as Hurricane Francis comes ashore and moves across the state of Florida. Reporting in Fort Lauderdale, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
Thank you, Jonathan. Coming up, Hurricane Charlie. That one moved through very, very quickly, right through Florida. Hurricane Francis doing something different, moving slowly. But that doesn't mean that this storm is any less scary, any less dangerous. The Francis Watch continues on Fox News Channel as Fox reports tonight.
Announces trip rewards with more places to earn points and more ways to redeem them. It's as easy as Ramada, a very good place to be.
Just in, most women over 30 can gain 10 pounds a decade, due in part to slowing metabolism. So, eat right, exercise, and take One A Day Weight Smart, a complete multivitamin with EGCG to enhance metabolism.
Now you tell me.
One A Day Weight Smart.
At Next to Nothing Rent-A-Car, our slogan is, if you want a car for next to nothing, get in line. Do we offer you services that get you to your vacation faster? No. We let you use that time for more important things, like catching up on your reading. After all, who do you think we are, Hertz? Here you go.
Hertz offers both #1 Club Express and Never Lost, so you can reserve faster and get to your vacation faster. It's your trip. Rent wisely.
Francesca! Francesca!
Lisa! Hi! I thought I'd find you here. We found a buyer for your house. We got what we were hoping for. I couldn't wait to tell you.
Thanks.
Nobody works harder for you than RE/MAX. That's why nobody in the world sells more real estate.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Honey, I got that dessert you like.
Oh, great.
Oh, and look what else I got. Honey? Kids, relax. It's natural citrus Listerine. It's less intense. Sure. All right. Sounds good.
Introducing Natural Citrus Listerine. All the same germ-killing power to fight plaque. Now in a citrus flavor that's less intense. For a cleaner, healthier mouth. You can handle it. Germs can't.
What makes Kyocera printers and copiers so simple and easy to use?
They're people-friendly.
It's technology that's catching on everywhere.
Kyocera. Outstanding reliability. For this company, that's people-friendly.
And not just reliable, network reliable.
Common driver. Common interface. That's tech-friendly.
Kyocera, advanced technology that makes life simple.
My team just loves them. They're people-friendly.
People-friendly copiers and printers, only from Kyocera.
Hurricane Francis poised to slam into Florida's coast overnight. We're looking live at Melbourne, Florida, a location that some forecasters are saying could be ground zero for this storm. It's a Category 2 storm. It's stalling a little bit off the coast of Palm Beach, now about 50 miles offshore. But listen to the winds, 105 miles per hour. The first bands of the storm proving that this is a force to be reckoned with. Several homes and businesses already damaged. Down power lines, leaving about 2 million people with no electricity. There is a state of emergency all over the state of Florida. We'll keep it covered for you right here on Fox News Channel. I'm Ray Fulbaum. Thanks so much for joining us. Keep it right here on Fox.
The Fox Report, a presentation of Fox News Channel, the network America trusts, period.
Welcome to Fox News Channel's special coverage of Hurricane Francis. I'm Tony Snow. Hurricane Francis is a Texas-sized storm